Change within police departments. It's what protesters have demanded, and today those changes were discussed, along with the revelation of possible budget cuts for Kansas City Police. Our reporter Jordan Betts breaks it down.
There were several topics discussed today at the Board of Police Commissioners here in the building behind me here in downtown Kansas City. From the tear gas that was used during protests that was discussed to now budget cuts that could leave police officers without a job.
Rick Smith has got to go.
Outside the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, there are protesters demanding change.
We want Chief Rick Smith to resign.
While inside, Board of Police Commissioners met to discuss changes and talk about current policies. First, the department's response to 8 Can't Wait, a nationwide campaign that aims to change police departments.
Department members are authorized to use deadly force in order to protect themselves or others from what they reasonably believe is an immediate threat of death or serious bodily harm.
And with that came the topic of chokeholds. KCPD says they do not teach or authorize the technique, but there is no policy against it. Mayor Quentin Lucas interjected the meeting when he heard that.
Well, I'm with the ban chokeholds approach.
Okay, that's something we can implement, like I said, pretty quickly.
Then a major revelation. The police department and every other department in the city is facing a setback, and that's budget cuts. According to this letter, the city manager is asking every department to cut 4.5% due to the pandemic. For police, that's more than $10 million, meaning jobs could be cut.
To come up with these kinds of numbers, there's just only one way to do that, and that's through personnel. So we have some things we've talked about of implementing other programs to maybe get people to retire early, incentive packages, something of that nature.
For now, these are recommendations, but the chief has concerns about the long-term effects.
I am worried because the moves we make today will affect this department not just today, but several years down the road.
In Kansas City, Jordan Betts, 41 Action News.
Again, these proposed budget cuts are for all departments across Kansas City, not just the police department. But the board also discussed the use of tear gas at protests on the plaza. Chief Rick Smith says a higher up has to give approval before gas can be thrown, adding officers cannot use it at their own discretion.